Hey, welcome back. Paul Joseph Watson just dropped a truth bomb about the London attack, and it's viral. This guy's exploding with popularity. InfoWars reporter Paul Joseph Watson provides an analysis of the reactions from today's terrorist attack in London. Let's take a watch.
An Islamic terrorist mowed down numerous victims in a car before stabbing a police officer and trying to attack the Parliament in London. And how did the left respond? By expressing their concerns, not for the victims, but for how it might make Muslims look bad.
In moments, Donald Trump will begin exploiting the attack in London today. Do not allow this to be an indictment on Islam or Muslims.
Far-right figures like Tommy Robinson are vile opportunists, using victims of today's attack to spread their anti-Muslim message.
That's right, some members of the media were more upset that Tommy Robinson had showed up to the scene of the attack than the attack itself. But at least London Mayor Sadiq Khan was quick to respond. Oh no, that's right, it took him more than 5 hours to appear on camera.
Trump's ignorant view of Islam could make both our countries less safe. It risks alienating mainstream Muslims. London has proved him wrong.
Yeah, that tweet hasn't aged well, has it? But at least none of them was stupid enough to blame Donald Trump, right?
Trump probably has a hand in this.
Yeah, okay, but it's important to remember that hashtag not all Muslims are terrorists and that Muslims don't support this. Here's a screenshot from France 24 Arabic's live video feed. Note the smiley faces and the thumbs up. They're saying, quote, God curse the infidels, and quote, that's how the lone wolves of Allah operate. Here's a screenshot from Al Jazeera Live. I'm watching Al Jazeera Live, you wouldn't believe the number of likes. Well done and Allah Akbar. Here's a moderate Muslim perspective.
I'm seeing rumblings that what's going on in London is an attack from radical Islam. If so, there was likely good reason for it.
But hashtag not all Muslims, right?
These cowardly bastards can maim, murder and terrorise all they like, but they'll never win.
If by winning you mean changing society, then they are winning, with the full complicity of the left. Canada is currently debating a motion that will effectively criminalise Islamophobia. In other words, criticism of Islam. Just 3 years after their own parliament was also attacked by an Islamic terrorist. They are winning, and our governments are helping this ideology to spread. They're welcoming it in. We're erecting glass walls around the frigging Eiffel Tower. Sweden just allowed 150 ISIS terrorists back into their country. Oh, but don't worry, because they set up a phone hotline for people to report them, and then closed it down because it might be racist. Now we have the Islamist Erdogan threatening to send Muslim migrants with the vow that Europeans won't be able to walk safely on the streets. France just polled young Muslims and found that a third of them, expressed sympathy for terrorism. Here are a few questions that spring to mind. Why are Brits being arrested for tweets while Islamists are free to walk around Parliament draped in the ISIS flag? Why do we have a mayor who calls moderate Muslims Uncle Toms? A mayor who says terrorist attacks are part and parcel of living in a major city. And I'm sick to the back teeth of saying it. But I'll say it again. Pray for hashtags won't prevent this. Turning off the lights at the Eiffel Tower won't prevent this. Putting a filter on your Facebook profile pic won't prevent this. Sticking your head in the sand and pointing the finger at right-wingers will not prevent this. And whether this terrorist turns out to be homegrown or a migrant or whatever, the belief system is the same, acknowledging that Islam is not a religion of peace and is in serious need of imminent reform, will prevent this. So don't intimidate and attack the Muslim reformists who are trying to make that happen. Not rolling out a red carpet into our country to be exploited by terrorists as they've done over and over again will prevent this. How many more mangled bodies on our streets will it take before that happens?
Well said. Paul Joseph Watson. Very well said. Congressional Black Caucus talks about meeting with Trump. Let's take a listen.
Another moment making headlines tonight from the president's news conference. At one point, President Trump asked a reporter to help him set up a meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus. The question came as a surprise to members of that caucus who said they had already reached out to the president. not to mention asking a reporter to set up the meeting. ABC's Mary Bruce on the Hill tonight.
On Capitol Hill tonight, heads shaking over President Trump's response to this question.
Go ahead.
Are you going to include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as...
Am I going to include
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus,
I tell you what. Do you want to
as well
set
as
up the
on
meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of
I'm
yours?
Just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go set up
watching
a
right now.
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great.
Watching on Capitol Hill, members of the Congressional Black Caucus in shock.
This man is clueless.
Congressman Emanuel Cleaver in disbelief that the president would ask that reporter, April Ryan of the American Urban Radio Networks, to set up the meeting.
Because there was a black woman in the room, the assumption was that some way, somehow, in spite of the fact that she was a reporter, she had some kind of unique contact with the Congressional Black Caucus.
You don't think he would have asked another reporter to set up a meeting like that?
Well, I don't think that he would have asked you to set up the meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus.
Mary Bruce with us live tonight from the Hill. And Mary, the Congressional Black Caucus says they reached out to the president a month ago.
The CBC sent a letter to the president saying they hope to work together, but they never received a response. Tonight, we're told the White House is working to set up that meeting. David?
Mary Bruce with us tonight live from the Hill. Mary, thank you.
Well, the fact that Trump didn't invite them to a meeting was actually a lie. They're just backpedaling because they actually refused to meet with Trump in the first place, the Black Caucus. So now that Trump dropped the bomb on the mic there's not really much choice they have. They actually have to meet with Trump now. They have no choice. Because if they turn the meeting down now, it turns it back on them. So again, perfect example of Trump trolling the people who don't like him. Genius. Breaking. The lid was just blown on the intelligence community, and the truth has just been exposed. U.S. Intelligence Committee confirms U.S. spies intercepted Trump team communications on numerous occasions. Just bring the truth to the surface. Bring it all.
So first, I recently confirmed that on numerous occasions, the intelligence community incidentally collected information about U.S. citizens involved in the Trump transition. Details about U.S. persons associated with the incoming administration, details with little or no apparent foreign intelligence value, were widely disseminated in intelligence community reporting. Third, I have confirmed that additional names of Trump transition team members were unmasked. And fourth and finally, I want to be clear, none of this surveillance was related to Russia or the investigation of Russian activities or of the Trump team. The House Intelligence Committee will thoroughly investigate surveillance and its subsequent dissemination to determine a few things here that I want to read off. Who was aware of it, why it was not disclosed to Congress, who requested and authorized the additional unmasking, whether anyone directed the intelligence community to focus on Trump associates, and whether any laws, regulations, or procedures were violated.
Well, I know who did it. It was the shadow government, the same ones that were behind Hillary Clinton and the world order. That's who was watching them, and they still are to this day, guaranteed.